famous meme, there is no time to explain, get on the horse. But since we are not talking about horses and cowboys, so just there is no time, let's get started. And let's get started with the first part, which is prepared speeches. And the first speaker is going to be Matej Miklauds. When I asked him how often he think about stars and other things, he says that from time to time he look at the stars and he even feel close to them, which is something that you wouldn't expect from the ordinary person to tell you. It was the first time somebody told me this. And moreover, he told me that he sees universe everywhere, even in the small things like flowers. I wouldn't argue with him today because he really knows how to persuade people. And now he will show us this in his speech, ninth speech from the Competent Communicator, where he will persuade us with power and tell us about life without stress. Please, Matej, welcome.
Hello, dear Toastmasters. There's so many from this perspective. And today I would like to talk about a different perspective about stress and maybe put some boundlessness into the definition of stress. So, yeah, I would like to talk about a different logic about stress that could potentially result in a life without stress. So I would like to answer two questions today. One is what stress is, and the other where it comes from. So maybe for the beginning, could you help me a little bit? I invite you, if you want, you can close your eyes or not, or however, to remember maybe a stressful situation in your life. And maybe make it as vivid and as, think what you thought or see what you saw when you were stressed or hear what you heard and feel what you felt when you were really stressed. Okay, yeah, and maybe just a short exercise. Did anyone remember a situation that caused him or her stress? Yeah, okay, I have some yeses, right? Yes. Some people already have no stress. Good. Yeah, so maybe I start, before I get into the experience, start with the definition. Right now, if you go to Google, you will read that stress is a feeling of strain and pressure caused by difficult circumstances. That's the definition that we have right now of stress. And if I ask you about the experience that you remembered, does it kind of fit into this definition?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, great. Someone else? You guys have different kind of experience?
No.
No?
I'm
Okay.
still thinking about stress.
You're yeah, but you can stop. Yeah. So did anyone experience stress when you imagined it? Did you feel something or how was it? Yeah? Okay, good. Someone else? Yeah? Okay, so some people really got into it. Great. So by the definition, the stress came from where? You can shout it out, you can help me. Where did this stress come from?
Lack of control.
Okay, yeah, but...
From the mind, from the thoughts, from the feelings.
Okay, great, yeah. Okay, so we agree on this?
Yes.
Or, yeah, because this is perfect. This is exactly my point. Because whatever you just said doesn't fit the definition. Right? And it's a great misunderstanding that we live in. It's a totally different paradigm of where our feelings come from, where stress comes from, than it actually happens. So this was great, now a great exercise, because some of you actually experience stress right now, and if you thought about it, you would say, oh, that situation made me stressful, or that person, or that circumstance. But right now, you felt stress, and there was no people or things that made you stressful from them. It was just imagination. It was just your thoughts. So if this is true, which obviously you experienced it, so right now it's true, we always experience our thinking. We live in a world of our thoughts, in the experience of our thoughts. And nothing outside of us can make us feel any way without us thinking about it. So the definition of stress is wrong. I mean, it's funny that I say it this way, but if we look at it in detail, we see that it doesn't make sense, because there is a missing link, and the missing link is thought. And usually we don't know this, especially when we have a really difficult situation and it seems really real and we are living it in the moment. We think that it's coming directly at us and we are experiencing whatever is happening outside. But it's actually happening the same way that we just did it right now. Something is happening and we have thinking about it, and then we experience what we're thinking. So, is life without stress possible? Well, I'm glad. So maybe the purpose of my speech was achieved. Yeah, I'm really glad that you see a different perspective, and maybe continue looking in this direction and seeing more of how your experience is created by your own thought. Thank you very much.
And something that I